That's actually the end of the slides that I have for you, and I want to spend a little bit of our remaining time, we can put the lights back on, shall I? Thanks. I want to spend the remainder of our time just giving you a couple of listening examples and then just talking about them a little bit. Now, we just talked about every valley. Let's see if I can get my iPod to work here. And so I want you to listen to this. Remember, we're talking about, is Messiah relevant to us today? Now, I suspect some of you were a little offended by that. I think it's pretty cool. And I'll tell you, I'm pretty, down the middle of the fairway when it comes to choral music. But I'm not above experimenting a little bit. So why is that important for us to hear? That's basically Handel's music, folks. I mean, it's improvised a little bit. I think Handel would love this. And I'll tell you why. Because the great composers knew how to use their craft to touch the hearts and the minds and the spirits of their listeners. Because if they didn't, nobody listened to their music. And that is the greatest compliment and encouragement any composer can ever. This is not the great commission that they receive, the dollars for their work, although that helps. But it's whether or not their music hits the hearts and minds of the people that they're writing for. And again, I think that Handel, who was somebody who thought a lot about, his primary craft being opera and oratorio, how can he do it in a way that presents that text in a way that's accessible to the listener? If he had had these kinds of electronics available to him at the time, would he have used them? I think he would have. And so initially, it was really, I love to watch the reaction of the audience when this happens. Oh yes, I know this one, the tenant's going away. And then all of a sudden, wham, this different music comes in. It's the same basic music, the same text, but presented very differently. And it gets your attention, doesn't it? I think that as we look at not only a piece like this, but worship in general, what are some ways that we can keep it fresh surprise ourselves once in a while, get our spirits moving in a different direction, and letting the music and the text do that for us, I think is really important. I'm going to play one or two more of these different settings of Handel's work for you before we wrap up here. And not too many more, just a couple more, and then I'm going to get you singing a little bit. And as we kind of come back to the more traditional Handel. This is one that, oh yes, one of my favorite arias from Handel's Messiah is "But Who May Abide the Day of His Coming." And what I love about it is that it has this sense of foreboding and mystery to it, the way Handel has said it. Now this is a different setting, basically the same music. You'll recognize the tune, but it's set a little differently, and I think it accomplishes the same task. I wanted you to just hear how this arrangement handles that transition. Now, again, this if all you've grown up, if you don't know anything about Baroque music or classical music at all, you can relate to this. It draws another audience. Again, that's what I think Handel would love about this. Is it draws another audience into the love of this great work, this great piece. I've got just one more short excerpt I want to play for you. Is Ralph still here? Oh, okay, there he is. This is an El Giro setting of the Why Do the Nations So Furiously Rage Together? I thought of you, Ralph, when I heard this.
So furiously rage together. Why do the people imagine a vain thing? Why do the nations rage, rage, rage? Why do they rage so furiously?
flavor of how that piece might work. What I love about that particular piece, and with all of these, is that I would submit that these musicians, the orchestra, is every bit as virtuosic as the talent it takes to play the Handel's own version setting of Messiah. These are fabulous musicians. And again, this helps us be a little bit more accessible with Handel's Messiah to folks who maybe didn't grow up with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir version on the stereo.